Hi parents, it's Kelly McNew. I am a counselor and play therapist. I'm back again to share some more information on the basic principles of play therapy and how to use activities at home to enhance your relationship with your child, improve behavior, and help them be able to express and regulate their feelings and behavior at home. Today I'm going to be talking about a rule of thumb, and it comes from Dr. Garry Landreth, who is a renowned play therapist in the field of child-centered play therapy. He is one of my earliest teachers of play therapy through numerous texts that I've read by him and workshops and trainings and conferences that I've attended. I find myself going back to his work often during the pandemic because it has some very basic principles of play therapy that is so impactful and meaningful in our relationships with other people, not just children. I find it actually helpful in all the relationships that I have with others. And it really gets at the core needs of what children need especially during a stressful time. So his rule of thumb is to focus on the donut and not the hole. And what he means by that is focusing on the relationship you have with your child, focusing on what's there and what you have to build upon rather than the problems that are there. While I definitely use some behavior management strategies in my work in my office through in-person visits and now telehealth through the play therapy room, I definitely don't use that as my first go-to. Behavior management is great and it has definitely a great purpose for improving positive behaviors, but the first thing I think about is the relationship and that child's relationship with other important people in their life. Number one, their parents, and extended family members, siblings, and also teachers and other people that are involved intimately with that child's life. If we think about the relationship, especially one with a parent, it's probably the most crucial for children to be able to develop the skills that they need to get along with people in the world and to feel good about themselves. So today I'm going to talk a little bit more about that, and also I'm going to show some brief ritualistic kinds of activities you can do with your children that don't take a lot of time. I know during the pandemic it's been very stressful for me personally to juggle all the demands and the stressors, and I find myself having a hard time taking care of my kids' emotional needs sometimes through play or through my responses to them. I might be quicker to react to issues that come up, and if they're not being very cooperative, I react sometimes a little bit more than I would like, rather than taking in the information and deciding what to do by responding. So I'm finding that these brief little ritualistic types of play are really beneficial for improving the relationship and helping your child feel more connected to you and helping you feel more connected to them. So if it's not fun though, forget it. And I think that that's an important point to remember, is that we need to fill our cups first as parents. And if we're not ready to engage in play, then it's probably not the best time. So making sure that we're emotionally filled ourselves and taking care of ourselves, whether that means having our own therapist or whether it means talking to a friend or getting some exercise or other coping strategies that help you be able to be emotionally available for your kiddos. So being able to think about also being authentic and real during these playful kinds of interactions. Kids definitely are the first to sense when we're not being authentic or when we're really not present. They look at our body language and our facial expressions much more intimately than we adults look at each other. They often don't have the words or the cognitive abilities to understand the content of everything that we say, but they do really read our cues from our body language and our facial expressions and the tone of our voice. So that's something to be very mindful of. These brief ritualistic kinds of activities also use physical touch as a way to connect. That physical touch is so important right now, more than ever, I think, to feel connected to others because of the loneliness and isolation that many of us are experiencing. Kids are also feeling this too. So that physical contact with other people in a meaningful and loving way, I think, is very important right now. And it's also important to be mindful of your child's ability to be able to communicate what their physical needs for touch are. Some kids are probably less likely to enjoy physical touch, and especially in hard or rough ways, and some other children seek it out. So it's important to try to be mindful of your child's needs in that sense. Also, making eye contact. in being emotionally in tune with your child. So being able to reflect back the emotions that they're expressing to you and making that eye contact and be able to have a shared connection. So those are all just some thoughts to share about some of those important key components of connecting with your child through play. I know that parents don't have a lot of time right now. They're very stressed, and I think sometimes carving out a half an hour of playtime can be a difficulty where you are present one-on-one with your child, following their lead and allowing them to play in the way that they want to, and you're participating with them either through being present and watching and noticing, or you're actually interacting and playing with them. So being that parents are pretty tapped out right now, I was thinking of some really short, brief types of ways that you can interact with your child that is giving them that emotional need that they need right now. So I did a few videos. I did 4 videos, one with each of my children. The first one I did came from a book called I Love You Rituals by Becky Bailey. Becky Bailey has some great activities in this book. This is an oldie but a goodie. I've had it for many years. And the first activity I did is 5 little babies that comes from this book with my daughter Hadley, who's 2. And then I also shared a few activities that I did with my older boys. I have a 4-year-old, a 7-year-old, and then a 10-year-old, and you'll see in the videos that I really just created those myself, or I've learned them just from being a parent and a child myself through the years. The one that I did with my 4-year-old son is something that I actually we created as a way to transition out of the bathtub, to make that transition a little bit more playful and for him to have an easier time to transition out, because sometimes he just doesn't want to get out of the tub. So I find that baby turtle play that we do with him, pretend play, really helps him and helps him engage in some very cooperative kinds of behavior, which I really need to get things done through the day. And the other 2 activities, more geared towards older children who maybe don't want to do the finger plays and the cuddly kind of play and pretend play, but still need that physical touch, the eye contact and the emotional attunement that they need from us. So I hope you enjoy watching, and just remember that it's a normal thing for your child to regress right now, and it's important that we fulfill those dependency needs. So rather than criticizing or being on our child about, why are you doing this again? You know, we already moved past this, whether it be potty training or sleep regressions or things like that. Remember to be patient, and that their developmental need right now is to have that dependency need expressed through regression. And so out of that dependency need flows independence and security and safety from us. So when we're able to give that to them, be emotionally attuned to what they need, they often can go back out into the world and behave in a much more independent and secure fashion, and that's what we're hoping to do. I hope you enjoyed the videos. If you have any questions or want to share some more information with me about things that you do with your family, please reach out to me. I'm at childparentcounseling.com. Thank you.
Okay, let's do it. Look at me. You ready? Can you do it with me? Like this? You ready? We'll count to 3 and do it. 1, 2, 3. One little baby rocking in a tree. 2 little babies looking at me. Look at me. Look at me.
Look at me.
3 little babies crawling on the floor. Here they are crawling. 4 little babies knocking on the door. 5 little babies playing hide and seek. But don't look until I say peek. Ah!
Now put my beaky on.
Yeah.
Now put my...
Okay, my little turtle, bath time's over. It's time to get out of the tub and come lay on the warm beach. All right, you're still in your little shell, so come on over, little. Oh, is that something in your way? Let's put that out of your way. Come on, little turtle, come on over. All right, let's put your turtle shell on. Let's put your turtle shell on you. All right, there's my little turtle egg. Let me wrap him all tight so he's a nice little egg. Ah, and let's dry his body off. He's still wet from the ocean. I mean, dry his shell off, I should say. Dry his shell off. There we go. All right, and then we'll wait for him to hatch. he might be coming out of his shell soon. Oh, I hear some noise and lots of moving around. Oh! Oh, baby turtle! I love you. You're all nice and dry and warm now. All right, you're
Okay, so you put your hands up like this. Keep your feet in one place. So if you take a step, that means we stop and restart. So your goal is to try to get me off balance. And so you can push against me, you can let go all of a sudden, you can do lots of things to try to get me off balance. You can do funny faces, you can tell jokes, you can do lots of things to distract me.
Oh, I can do that.
All right, you ready? Okay. Oh, ah! All right, let's try it again. You're funny. You're funny. Okay, you have to keep your feet kind of even like this. You start even. Yeah, there you go. All right. Ugh. Do you know?
That's easy, boy.
Oh, Kyle, you're so silly. Okay. All right, so we hold this hand, and then we hold this hand. You ready? And say it.
1, 2, 3, 4. I declare a fun more. 5, 6, 7, 8. That would be a piece of cake.
It's hard when I remember holding hands on the other side. I'm gonna get the fingers. Oh, wait, other fingers are coming in play. The thumb brought his friends. One. Oh no.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
All right, you won.